Welcome. You're listening to the calming sounds of the Tidepool Orchestra. Side A.
Why do you hate him?
I just hate him.
James Charles?
Did
What?
he-
Everybody hates
Yeah,
James
Yeah, I know
Charles.
what he did, you dingus. Get out of my house.
Just
Do you
hate
feel
him.
personally victimized by James Charles, Patrick?
I guess so.
I guess so.
Okay. Fuck off.
It's funny, we were talking about Pro Jared last week, and he lost so many subscribers really quick, and everybody was like freaking out, like, that's the most anyone's ever lost.
No.
Then the very next day, James Charles controversy happened, and he lost over 1 million subscribers in 24
You
hours.
guys remember the James Charles Ebola controversy? That was my favorite.
Yep.
The one at like the very start of his career.
What happened there? I am
He
unfamiliar.
tweeted that he was something about going to South Africa and said, I hope I don't get Ebola.
Oh, right, because he's racist.
Yeah.
It was like a shitty joke or something.
Oh, yeah, right, because he's racist.
He's not a good person. He's racist, he's
He's not.
He's predatory.
predatory. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, dude, I hate. Oh. So, I'm just dead.
So, what exactly happened? Like, how did it come out that he was an asshole?
He was posting stuff on Twitter. Like,
Well,
that
actually-
and people
Oh.
complain about him.
I follow the drama. So if you're talking about the more recent drama, it started about vitamins.
How?
No, because
Oh.
his friend had a brand, and that brand was basically like a very similar thing. But then they're like, "Hey, I'll take a sponsorship from another company that goes against this brand," and basically betrayed his friend by doing that.
And she spilled the tea on him.
Bye, sister.
Yeah.
Bye, sister.
By his sister.
So now there's a
Oh, I
power
hate it.
vacuum. There's now room for
And then he made an apology where he said, "I made a mistake, and I haven't learned anything."
Is that actually what his apology was? Because that's hilarious.
Pretty much. He said that he would continue to make mistakes in the future.
Yes. In the middle of the video, basically says, "I haven't learned anything."
I'm sure that's not what he meant, but I bet he thought it sounded right, but it wasn't actually the way he meant to phrase it, and came out just sounding really awful and garbage.
Once again, I am coming kind of lagging, so if
Sam,
I'm
I
kind of interrupting
am.
anyone, I'm
Green eggs
sorry.
and ham. Sam,
bear with
I
me.
am. Green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. Green eggs and ham. Sam, I am.
Your mom's ham.
This is why I hate you.
I'm glad we've got the #1 brilliant minds on the show left.
Right.
You might just want to throw this all out, Brian.
Glowing
I might.
green
I think we're starting over, and now we're talking about James Charles, I guess.
Yeah, James Charles.
Oh, fuck it. I don't know what to play.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh boy.
if we're talking about what's
Oh.
predatory and what's not, you can argue that like people aren't, 100% sure of their sexuality, but I feel like any situation where there's a power dynamic, there can't be true consent. Like James Charles has a bunch of fans and a bunch of money, so if some schmuck off the street, found himself in the eye of James Charles, he'd almost be a fool to say no to not get free stuff, even if he was straight.
True.
Oh,
I feel like-
boy.
So what I heard from Facebook was like the story that had come out was that he was in high school at the time and was approaching and being predatory towards a straight high schooler.
There are multiple accounts of him being predatory towards straight boys.
Yeah.
I guess what
Yeah.
happened was somebody posted like a 3 or 4 paragraph long story, and James Charles private messaged them saying, the reason why that happened, now please go on there and say that the entire thing was a lie or my lawyers will attack you.
Of course he did. I'm not surprised.
Actually, there was a thing a while ago where somebody tried to fake James Charles like being racist. I mean, he is, and they tried to make it like a fake DM of him saying the N word.
Oh yeah, wasn't that Tana? That was like
I think that's what kind of started it. It was like months before, like yeah.
wasn't that Tana
No.
dumbass?
Tana Mongoose.
I don't know how to pronounce her name. Leave me alone.
Not like that. I pronounced it wrong on purpose.
Tanner now beast.
So what happened there? Honestly, like, the only things I know about James Charles is just his interactions with like Shane Dawson and Ryland Adams.
Get in there.
Where he was specifically telling them like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and they're like, you're going after straight guys. And like they kept telling him that, and he's like, yeah, but that's what I want to do. It clearly has worked out for him, yeah. This guy.
Shane Dawson did it with his cat.
I feel like with a certain amount of
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. We all know it.
I don't care.
Alex, go
In
on.
the podcast, he said that he really did that. So, we might have proven him wrong.
Oh, today Big Bang Theory ends forever.
yeah.
Yay!
Fucking right.
Yes!
What?
What's Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory is when you die and go to hell, when you die and go to hell, your voice gets trapped inside the Big Bang Theory laugh track. It's fun.
Sounds retarded. I mean, word I
I
can't.
hate it so much. I hate it so much. I can't stand it.
Let's talk about Big Bang Theory for a bit.
So are you guys,
No.
so are you guys all
Bas-
creationists since you don't like the Big Bang Theory?
No, Bazinga is the dumbest thing ever I've ever
Nobody
heard.
got my
Bazinga.
joke.
I love
Right.
your joke. I'm smiling.
What
No,
the
it's
hell
good.
is Bazinga?
Bazinga is a word you can use when your joke doesn't
Don't
work,
get
and then
it.
it makes it so that your joke...
Not funny.
That's not
Oh, I
funny.
thought they were those little like
doesn't.
cakes that were like almost like Twinkies. You know, bazingas. The little.
Those are zingers. So the thing about Big Bang Theory is the laugh track...
It's bad.
Yes, and let me explain why. The laugh track always plays just when somebody says a reference, but never when they actually tell a joke. It's like if somebody says, "Oh yeah, the Green Lantern, his weakness is yellow," like the laugh track plays or whatever. But like when I say that in real life, nobody laughs. They just give me judgmental looks. So the laugh track isn't really designed to like. The laugh track is laughing at them, not with them.
Does that look like that's on fire?
I like my dad.
I
That
think
looks
they
like
should
that's on fire.
maybe change laugh tracks in general to just soft chuckle tracks. They're like, this guy.
Can you imagine? You're
No,
watching.
just stop him.
You're watching a
Stop
TV
him
show and like
altogether.
they tell a really funny joke and you just hear the entire audience go like That's it. Just like I would watch that. That'd be great.
It would be funny.
So Big Bang Theory is finally over. We're finally
Yay.
free from the Big Bang Theory.
God.
You got two trending topics: Big Bang Theory and James
Good.
Charles.
How many
James
seasons?
Charles on The Big Bang Theory. Last episode of Big Bang Theory stars James Charles.
Yeah, it's weird that they had to film it so much in
And
advance.
Poe Jared.
How many seasons of Big Bang Theory did they have? The answer is too many, but let's look that up. 12.
5 or 6.
They had 12 seasons.
Not
Holy
to
crap.
before anyone, gets an earful, spoiler alert, the most recent episode of Big Bang Theory,
That
of
aired
course,
today.
yes, of course, was James Charles trying to seduce Sheldon. And it was very topical. I'm surprised they recorded it so early in advance.
It's pretty funny too, because Sheldon's actor is gay in real life, so it's like this weird, like... It adds layers to the joke. And the joke isn't a joke, but the laugh track still plays.
Yeah.
They had 279
Is it like
episodes.
ogres?
Yeah, the Big Bang Theory and James Charles are similar to ogres in the fact that they are unpleasant to look at.
And they smell bad. Sorry.
Big Bang Theory? More like chemotherapy.
Ooh, here's a fun trending topic. I like this idea. Trending topics for the podcast. Let's discuss the fact that Robert Pattinson is going to be the new Batman. Now, you may remember him as the guy who played the sparkly vampire in Twilight.
Yeah, that guy.
No! No!
Okay, now that Gannon's had his episode, he was also Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter.
He's the first Hufflepuff to become a Batman.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
But he also, spoiler alert, he dies.
Batman?
Cedric Diggory.
I want to kill myself. End it. End it all.
So I think it's pretty cool because he already has experience playing something that's related to dark, to the night, to bats in general. So it seems like a good fit. I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to work. Does anyone have the script ready?
The script for what?
Robert Pattinson's Batman.
I mean, no, but I'm excited. I mean, I feel like he can play a whiny character well enough. And what is Batman but just a very whiny man with fancy toys and a lot of money?
And it's like...
Are we gonna have the same Joker from Suicide Squad?
No, they already recast Joker, and he's getting his own standalone movie, Joaquin Phoenix.
Neat.
The Joker has this new thing going on where he lives in a society. That's pretty much it.
My entire skin peeled off.
All of your
I like
skin?
the Suicide Squad Joker.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Jared Leto? Yeah, he's great. I like how he has the word damaged tattooed onto his head.
You know how he sent someone before he even did the role?
So I would rather not talk about that.
I have no idea why, because he wanted to be like so into the character.
Hey, let's change the topic.
Fair enough.
Does the Joker canonically use...
Let's change the subject. Let's desperately change the subject and edit that out. I don't know if you guys know this, but part of what makes the Joker unique in comics is that he has a different backstory every single time that they try to reveal his backstory, to the point where it's like part of the character is that nobody knows exactly how he came to be. And so I think it's really cool that they're making an origin movie for him without Batman in it. And then they're making a separate Batman movie so that they can create their cinematic universe some more. Apparently Suicide Squad is not canon anymore.
I think it would be funny if there were just a bunch of different guys
Good.
pretending to be the Joker.
Here's my
They're
copy
just
of Suicide Squad on
20
Blu-ray.
20 different guys, and they're all pretending to be the
Burn.
Joker.
Well,
Burn.
in the current comics, there are 3 Jokers. Because Batman sat on a magic chair that allows him to answer any question he asks, and he asked, "What is the identity of the Joker?" And the chair is like, "There are 3 Jokers." And he chooses not to ask any follow-up questions, get off the chair, and then go home, and then they don't talk about it for another 3 real-life years.
Then he cries.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Is the Thanos chair?
It's the Darkseid chair. It's not Thanos. Thanos is Marvel.
When are they gonna make a Squirrel Girl movie? Speaking of,
Squirrel
I-
Girl was going to be in Marvel's The New Warriors, but it did not happen. Let me look that up so that I don't get any of the facts wrong.
she doesn't need a team. It could be just her. Just Squirrel Girl.
It's just her. Well, she should definitely. She deserves to have her own movie, but it's not going to happen because apparently nobody cares about her. But so,
I do.
She's in 2 different things right now. She's in Marvel Rising. I have an issue of it right here, where she teams up with Kamala Khan, America Chavez, Miles Morales, and basically it's just women and minorities, the comic book. So it's kind
Are
of
you
controversial.
telling me that nobody would be interested in a movie where a chick with a squirrel tail, so basically a furry, is the strongest person in the entire universe? You telling me nobody would be interested in that? I'm telling you, they're missing out on bank. Furry #1 strongest character in the universe, Squirrel Girl.
In August 2016, Marvel Television had developed a series centered on the New Warriors being led by Squirrel Girl, began offering it to cable networks and streaming outlets. April 2017, New Warriors received a series order of 10 episodes from Freeform. Freeform doesn't exist anymore. They wanted a premiere for 2018, but it's not a thing. So they already have it filmed, but because it was going to be for Freeform, they can't do anything with it.
That sucks.
So, you want to know something interesting about the Joker?
Yeah. What's going on?
In
with
the DC Marvel crossover, Carnage and Joker talk to each other, and the Joker is actually disgusted by Carnage's methods, which is really weird.
He's also disgusted by the Red Skull. Because the Red Skull is an actual Nazi, and when the Joker finds out, he's like, "Fuck you, I may be evil, but at least I'm an American."
I definitely think that Joker has a sense of superiority, so he would definitely feel himself as above other villains. Like, how dare you? You disgust me. Why don't you do things as well as I do? Because my way is the best way.
Oh yeah, and we can also talk about the... Oh yeah, this is Alex, if you don't mind, can we discuss the new laws in America and see if you have any opinions on them? I think it's...
Sure. I don't know what they are. I don't care what the law is. Redacted. Redact that. Don't put that on there.
If you have a miscarriage, you can go to jail for 10 years.
What the fuck? That's awful. That's
Yeah.
awful. That's awful. Gross.
It's a
the-
miscarriage.
You don't have a baby.
It's when it's when a pregnant woman is no longer pregnant, but there's no baby.
In most cases, miscarriages aren't because a woman is trying to get rid of her child.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
very
like...
awful and traumatic experience.
It's awful, it's traumatic, and it's an accident, and now you get 10 years jail time.
That's awful.
You know
and
Tenacious mom? Patrick?
Yep,
She'd be in jail for like 6 years. She's had so many miscarriages.
Is that a
Scary.
truthful statement? Jenny?
Yes, I know his mom.
How do you
She's had
know?
like a lot of miscarriages.
But how do you know?
Yes.
Also,
He did a
what?
formal inspection,
I've
Patrick.
been to his house before.
That's
Like, I
a
know his
lot.
mom like very well.
You've been to his house. Okay, good for you. You know about how does that relate to his mother?
Yes, a lot.
Ha, you smashed. Good for you, buddy.
Because one time his grandmother was talking about me.
Ah!
What?
Change
just died in
the
lava.
subject. Okay.
No.
Anyway,
Why is
she said
Patrick
that
in
he was
such a
kind of
bad
like
mood?
a miracle because
Why is Patrick what?
sentences in the middle of them.
Why is Patrick what, please?
In such
Why?
a bad. Are you always like this, or is this just today?
I'm so
He's
confused. What are you
tired.
saying?
He's tired.
What are you
man.
saying?
You're
Oh
very
my God.
angry.
He's
everything.
he's an angry person. It's fine.
I hate everything about this.
Whoa! I'm the only one on camera. Look at all these little square people. That's cool.
I don't care. Shh.
So, do you guys are any of you familiar with the show The Tick?
No.
Yes, I love it. It's amazing.
It's
Yes.
canceled.
Oh, that's sad.
That hurt my ears.
Right now, there is a
you.
campaign to try to save it, but
I
I'm pretty
hate
sure
you.
it's because Amazon is no longer doing TV.
Oof.
I hate.
You know they had a movie which no one even like almost no one seen. Like it made like $1 million and cost like $24 million to make.
What movie?
Oh, I fuck.
The Tick. They had a movie.
What are we talking about?
There's a TV show about a superhero called The Tick. It got canceled, and
Cool.
people are protesting that. Here's a picture of
Boo
somebody.
You think more people would be protesting, I don't know, women going to jail for miscarriages?
People are protesting that too.
Good. Is that everywhere or just in certain states?
It's Alabama and I think there was another one.
Okay. Off the record, let's burn down Alabama.
I think we can get rid of Alabama. I think it's Alabama and Ohio.
Yeah, because the Paul brothers.
We'll get rid of Alabama and Ohio then. We don't need them.
Ohio fried chicken.
There are also protests. Okay. Just gonna cover that up with the camera again. So the thing is that they don't seem to understand what birth control is, and they're trying to say that the birth control pill, they colloquially known the pill, they're saying that could be considered an abortionate, and that it would no longer be available to sell. But
a lot of women need birth control for their hormones, just to function
right.
well.
But state legislators, being mostly male, don't seem to understand that.
That sucks.
Yep.
That's awful. Everyone needs to move out of Alabama and Ohio right now.
They definitely need to right now, like ASAP. Those who can. But the ones who can't afford to are going to be in a pretty sticky situation.
Yeah, that sucks. I wish I could do something about it, but besides like protesting or signing a petition, because I'm not actually a denizen of Alabama or Ohio, I can't really do anything about it.
There's a group of women in New York who are setting up this thing so that, if anytime you need to visit, for example, your Aunt Lillian, you could just, as long as you have the money to go to New York and visit her, that's perfect. And then they can help you there. They can give you, shelter. They can do any tests that need to be done. This Aunt Lillian. Um, it's very clearly so the Alabama and Ohio laws that they're setting up allow them to follow you out of state, which is terrible. So they have to
Oh,
like
that's
find these
awful.
loopholes. Right. So not only can if you need to get a procedure done in Alabama or Ohio, you can't do it in that state because it's illegal and you can get jail time, and you can't go out of state because it's illegal and you can get jail time. Well, let's say, for example, that you want to visit your Aunt Lillian over in New York. Well, I mean, that's okay. And then, your Aunt Lillian, she looks at things all the time. She can show you the sights. She can, really let you explore and do some touristry stuff before you go back home to Alabama or Ohio. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
I'm glad that somebody at least cares about these poor women in Alabama and Ohio.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like James Charles could easily try to get some good publicity by setting up something to help. I mean, he's rich, right?
Yeah, he is very rich.
He's like a jerk doing that.
Yeah. Which is ironic considering he always starts his video by saying, "Hi, sister."
Yeah.
But I don't know. If it were me and I was trying to get good publicity and I had the money and funds and this other thing was happening right now, like, wouldn't you want to do something towards that to try to get people to look at that instead of the other thing?
Well, the thing is, he's stupid, and also he doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself. It very much seems like that.
No, because it makes you look like a jerk because you're doing something nice and doing something wrong.
I think, number one, that would be a good PR move to set up something like that for the poor sisters in Alabama and Ohio. But I also think that even if someone is doing good just to cover up bad things that everyone knows they did, at least they're doing something good. You know what I'm saying?
Like, the meaning could be misconstrued and it would be very transparent what he would be doing, but I think it would still be good for the people who need it.
If you're going to try to cover your tracks, number one, everybody knows what you did already.
Yeah.
And odds are a lot of people aren't going to forgive you for it, but at least you'll be doing something good with your time and money before you go out.
Oh, no way, I found him.
I gotta go. So.
I think it's a good point to stop here for side A, and we'll talk about other things in side B. But thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see
I wrote
you
a
in
list
minute.
of tags that you can add to the video
Holy
that should get some traffic.
End of side A. Please continue on side B.
I've only got so long until I get home. Do you want me to go ahead and talk about my Facebook thing while I'm here?
Might as well.
Okay, so something's been going on Facebook. I'm not sure which of you are active on there, but pretty much if you're active at all on Facebook, the only reason to do so is for shit posting groups.
I think Noah and I are the only ones on Facebook.
Damn. Is it really that much of an old person thing?
Yeah. Boomers unite. Poof.
Okay. So there's a lot of shit posting groups out there that have like millions of members, and there's different specific subjects. Like I'm part of a Resident Evil shit posting group, and I'm part of another one for Last Podcast on the Left. And there's been some shit posting groups that have been getting shut down. And it turns out the ones responsible for it are another group that banded together called the IREC. That's India, Romeo, Echo, Charlie. And it stands for Indonesian Reporting not committee, Indonesia Reporting Commission. It's just this group of Indonesian kids, these Indonesian teenagers that have banded together and started mass reporting against specific groups and targeting them and shutting them down. And these groups weren't even doing anything wrong. It was just shit posting groups. They would mass report the actual group itself and not just post within the group. And so they caught the ire of quite a few groups that way. And a lot of these shit posting groups that were public or that were closed have gone to secret because they don't want to be targeted by this Indonesian reporting committee. And so that's pretty much it. It has since been shut down, the Indonesian Reporting Commission, and apparently the owner of the group was doxxed, and there's a lot of random stuff out there that has been said and proposed but never confirmed, and it's been suggested that he's been doxxed and actually had the shit kicked out of him in person.
In person?
Yeah. Because he shut down completely innocent groups that weren't even doing anything.
Huh.
So, I don't know. That's what I wanted to talk about, because I don't. If you're a part of any Facebook shitposting groups, they probably went from public to secret, and they've been doing this for the past 2 days.
Yeah, basically every Facebook shitpost group I was in did that.
And that's why, is because they don't want to be targeted with that.
Welcome back. You're listening to the calming sounds of the Tidepool Orchestra. Side B.
One.
Welcome back to the Tidepool Orchestra Side B. Here with me today we have Patrick, Noah, and my lovely wife. So, I think we're each going to talk about one thing that we did this week, and I would like to start us off, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
I created a terrible jacket.
God, it's awful.
Ooh.
Nice.
So, I took 2 different jackets, and I stitched them together to make one longer jacket. My wife said it was a terrible idea, but I did it anyway.
How
Forget
ghetto
to
do you have
mention
to
the
fucking be?
sleeves.
I know, right? So, how it started was this jacket, the sleeves I felt were too short with the buttons. So I'm like, I'll take the sleeves off of a hoodie, and those were long enough, and then I'll just stitch it on. So I have, yes, Patrick.
Can I go last?
Sure.
Okay.
So I cut off the sleeve of the hoodie, and I cut off the sleeve of this jacket, and I stitched them together right here, and it's great, and you can see the green stitching. But then it turns out that they're the same length anyway, so it doesn't matter. So now I have one jacket sleeve and one hoodie sleeve. And I'm like, well, I have all of this leftover fabric, so I might as well make a long coat. I've always wanted one. I cut it down the back so that it looks, honestly, for being stitched together with yarn, I think it looks kind of good.
It looks kind of good.
Kind of good.
Lime green yarn.
I used
I
lime
enjoy it.
green yarn.
So you need some patches for that. If you get some patches for that, you'll look like a crust punk.
Yeah. There's lime green down here too for the flaps. And if you look on the inside, there's a lot more lime green yarn.
Yeah.
It's especially noticeable if you look at the sleeve hole. Alright. Who wants to go next? Patrick said he's going last, so one of you two.
I'll go next.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so you want to know what I did this week?
Yeah.
Last week,
Whose smoke alarm
I
is going
mowed
off?
my lawn. Yeah, my smoke alarm's going off. Okay, it's no longer going off. So last week I was mowing my lawn and I ran over a clump of dirt and it got in my sinuses and my throat.
That's
And
not
it starts.
good.
It's not good. And I felt like shit the next day afterwards. And I went to work on Friday and went home early. And on Saturday and Sunday I was getting asthma attacks. which I've never had asthma before.
Do you have an inhaler
Being
now?
an I do have an inhaler now. Being an ex-smoker, I used to get pneumonia yearly, and then I swapped to vape, and then I stopped getting pneumonia. But I've never had asthma. I've never had my lungs seal up. So it was very frightening when that started happening after I got dirt in my sinuses and throat.
Oh, I'm lagging. Oh, what's fucking happening?
Did you die?
Yeah, Brian's lagging on my end too.
My
So,
computer just froze.
That's
well,
fine.
we can still see and hear you.
What?
Yeah, we can still see you and hear you.
Oh, that's because my computer's back.
Oh, cool.
I couldn't hear y'all. I could only
So-
just hear myself.
I've been sick since. I was okay enough to go to work on Monday since I had my inhaler. And then Tuesday I had a dentist appointment, got 2 fillings. I haven't had to use my inhaler since Tuesday morning, so that's really good. It's Thursday now.
I heard Patrick also went to the dentist.
I didn't.
Okay.
Not yet, I didn't. Because it's not my turn to talk about it.
That's fair.
So other than that, when I'm at home, I've just pretty much been playing. That's pretty much it.
You cut out playing what?
Quake.
Quake is cool.
Quake is cool.
Nice.
Quake was a good game. So Patrick, what'd you do this week?
No, you're skipping Alex. He
It's not
wanted
my
to go
turn.
last. It's Alex's
Oh, right.
turn.
Alex, what'd you do?
Wow, thanks. I can see how much this group values me, and by that I mean only Brian cares. I love you,
Sorry.
Brian.
I love you, Alex. Alex and I have been watching various VeggieTales, and we tried to watch Care Bears, but she fell asleep. But VeggieTales, neither of us fall asleep because it's so fucking creepy.
VeggieTales is pretty creepy.
Yeah. Alex, what have you done? Okay.
Well, the most recent thing I've done, besides just today, besides taking care of the cat, is I met an old friend from high school. I was taking a friend's cat to the vet. So I met her in the McDonald's, and I got a Happy Meal.
Happy Meals are cool to get as an adult because they're cheap. You get all the things you want. You get your fries. You get... What kind did you get?
I just got the 4-piece chicken. My stomach is a lot smaller now since the surgery, of course. So I've just been.
Did you get
getting
French
smaller.
fries or apple slices?
I got both. It came with both.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice. But anyway, I met her and she was really nice. She was having a hard time. It was kind of sad because we were kind of friends back in the day, but I was definitely more reserved in high school. I more thought that people didn't really want to spend time with me because I had a lot of insecurity issues. But recently, with everything that's happened in my life, I just don't care anymore. So I'm just nice to people in general, which is good. And we're gonna hang out tomorrow as well, which is great. The only bad part of it was there was a guy practicing dark arts in his car in the McDonald's parking lot.
That's weird.
That wasn't great.
What do you mean
I
by
say it as
practicing dark arts?
Oh!
Cutting that out. Alright, so we're gonna... Anything else, Alex?
I mean, I've been doing a lot of stuff, but none of it is really interesting, so that's it.
Patrick, go.
Huh?
What did you do this week, sir?
I ran.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Good job.
And then I threw a thing. And then I tossed another thing.
Cool.
And then I had dentists.
They're not very fun.
Eh.
Did the dentist give you a free toothbrush at the end?
Yep.
They do that.
The last time I went to a dentist, it was to get my wisdom teeth pulled out, and I was looking at the invoice before the surgery happened, and by surgery I mean they basically took pliers because I wanted it to be as cheap as possible. And I'm looking at the invoice, and one of the things that they have listed for their price is that you have to pay $189 to get an electric toothbrush. And when I pointed that out, I'm like, why am I paying $189 for a toothbrush? They said it's complimentary. I'm like, no. If it were complimentary, it would be free. You're thinking the word customary, and I still don't want it. So that was fun.
That's
Sounds very
awful.
fun.
I remember the worst time. Oh, you go first. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, the worst time I ever had when I had to go to a dentist was I needed a root canal or whatever. I tried to say just pull it out, but they wouldn't let me. So I had to get a root canal, which was awful because they made me go in 4 times, and every single time they wouldn't.
They what?
Sorry. Every single time they wouldn't give me enough
Anesthesia?
like numbing
Yeah.
numbing stuff for your mouth. So eventually I was just like, fuck it. And they didn't give me any more numbing stuff. And I just took it because I just wanted it to be over with, and it was awful.
Hell yeah.
Root canals are pretty bad. I've had one root canal before. I've gotten. Go ahead.
Patrick, what was your dentist appointment for? Did you just get like a cavity filling, or did you get your teeth replaced with shark teeth? Or
Cavity filling. And the other one, that sounds really dumb and stupid.
I don't know, that guy in
sounds
Hunger
really
Games did it.
Well, that's dumb. He's dumb.
It's fair.
Did he die?
I think at some point in the third book he died.
Hunger Games sucks, anyways. Sorry, Brian.
I don't know. I like watching people kill each other.
That's what I answered for a survey question.
when you apply at the Walmart and they're like, "Why do you think you're a good fit?" and you're just like, "I like to watch people who deserve to die." And they're like, "Yes, you will be our new cashier."
When do you witness people dying as a cashier?
All
Oh
the time.
god. There was actually there was a shooting a while ago at a supermarket near me. So you do witness people dying as a cashier, all of your friends.
Fair
And
enough.
it's really sad.
And you have to keep going because these are Walmart customers that we're talking about. They don't care about life or death situations. They just want to buy their things and leave. So there's a dead body not 5 feet away, but we have to get them
I'm
through
sorry,
the line.
could you open this register? I'm sorry, ma'am. There's a dead body in front of the register. I don't care. I need to buy little Billy his Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs
I've
are
been-
delicious.
I've been handling
No, they're
money
not.
and working registers for about 7 of my 10 years of employment. And I've never seen anyone die.
Yet.
Back when I worked at Sears in the
Don't
shoes
say that.
department, there was a little old lady who shit herself in my department.
Oh no.
And she could hardly speak English. She was probably like 90 years old and never learned English when she came over from the old country. But all she did was get my attention and then point the floor near her leg, and there's a little bit of poop on her shoe. And then I saw that she made a mess on the fucking floor. So I had to escort her upstairs up the escalator to the bathroom, let one of the girls in HR know.
Wait, there's
That
an escalator in your Walmart?
it's
Sears?
Sears.
Oh.
It's a department store
Oh, and Sears, okay.
that I used to work at.
Never mind.
And so I escorted her up to the bathroom. I let the girls in HR know, why aren't you helping her? I'm like, I can't go in the woman's restroom. She needs help. I don't know who's going to help her. She needs help, though. So they went ahead and talked to loss prevention. We went ahead and gifted her like a pair of $3 sweats. That way she could get changed out into those. And then the assistant store manager was like, well, isn't anybody going to clean this up? I'm like, no, I cautioned it off with wet floor signs, but I'm not trained to deal with human waste.
Yeah, you have to go
So
through like 3 hours of video training for that.
And I'm not going to go through 3 hours of video training for that. I got paid like $5.50 an hour plus commission at that job. I'll clean up shit. So,
it was
yeah.
Black Friday at Kmart. There's 2 cashiers. One of them is me, and I'm also the front end lead, and I'm also the only supervisor on the floor. So we're trying to
you're
get
supervisor.
Yeah, I was a supervisor. I was the key carrying supervisor. I was the acting manager at the time. Yeah, that is a mistake. Why would anybody give me any modicum of power? So I'm at the front desk helping people, and I get a page from somebody over in the infants department. So this is only like 30 feet away, so I just walk over to try to figure out what it is. There's a woman lying down bleeding out of her mouth.
Oh God.
On Black Friday, and this is like 1:30 a.m.
What happened?
Apparently, she had a drug overdose.
Oh.
So
it's like Pulp Fiction bleeding out of her mouth.
Yeah, so there's like a small puddle of blood, and while we're trying to like check her and call the ambulance to make sure that she can get help, and more importantly, get out of my store, she starts throwing up regular vomit on top of the blood. I'm like, okay, you go get caution signs, put them around this. I'm gonna go get the mop because nobody else wants to mop and nobody else has the training to clean this. You stay at the fucking register because you are our only cashier and it is Black Friday. I will be right back. So that was fun.
Yeah, it was. I imagine that was fun.
The EMT guys were asking her questions. She was not in any way able to answer. They're like, so did you take anything? Like, shining a flashlight at her eyes, and she's like, no, maybe.
Depends, will I get in trouble?
that's anyway, so retail is fun.
Did you have to bust out the syringe filled with adrenaline?
Yeah, it was like crank. Just jam it straight to the heart. My current job, the closest I've gotten to that was this woman rolled in with an electric wheelchair, kind of just stood there in the middle. Basically, I work at a convenience store now, so she's like right near the coffees, right next to a cooler, around like pick things out cooler, and near the chips. She just kind of sits there, and then she starts rolling again, and we see a trail of blood.
No, my fucking computer froze is the best part.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we had to like get her out of the store and mop up the blood and everything, and the paramedics just kind of hang out near the store, just in the parking lot. The paramedics will hang out inside of their ambulances in between calls. So we already had them on hand. We didn't have to call anybody. They just kind of rushed over when they saw this old woman being pushed out with a wheelchair and covered in blood. So while we're cleaning it up and using bleach, and now the store smells like bleach and blood, which great combination, always fun to smell. We look outside, and now there's a police officer talking to the old woman, and she's just like not cooperating at all. I think then I'm hoping she fell asleep, because I saw her head just kind of relax in the wheelchair, and then I saw the paramedics help her onto a stretcher. So I'm hoping that she fell asleep.
Alternatively, second best scenario was she fell into a coma.
She probably died.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of sounding like. So I'm hoping she either fell asleep or possibly went into a coma and not died, because that's fucking nuts.
Meanwhile, while all this is going on, somebody is just at the register complaining that it's taking so long to check out, because they only have 2 items, and they're like, why is it taking so long? I just want to buy my soda and my chips. I'm like, I'm sorry, do you not have eyes?
I can't believe people could be so like oblivious to other people's plights in life, and a person that's fucking dying on the floor. I don't know.
I mean, I'm antisocial as shit. I try to like avoid eye contact with everybody in public. I try to not be a rubberneck on the freeway, and I do my best to try to stay out of other people's shit. But when there's a crowd surrounded around somebody in a public area and we're all pedestrians, it kind of draws my attention too, and I'm aware if somebody's in medical distress or dying. So it is kind of weird in a sense.
It is.
Yeah.
Patrick, what kind of situations have you gotten into in your job?
I want to die. That's the situations. There.
It sounds
All
similar
of
to
them.
working for the Sears Holding Corporation.
Yeah,
Is
it
my
does sound
job
similar.
school? Can that be my job right now? Because I don't
Yeah.
work at place.
That
'Cause I
seems
can't.
that seems fair. Anything crazy happen at school? Did someone die?
Oh boy, I wish. If I could
God.
pick someone to die at my school.
Oh,
Only
let's
one
no.
person.
Don't
Hey,
do
Alex.
that. I've been arrested for. I mean, I haven't.
You've been arrested.
Probably Jeremy.
No,
You
no,
said
no.
it. You said it.
I haven't been. No, I've never.
Fun. Alex, what's the craziest thing that happened at one of your jobs that you can tell us?
Honestly, I do like secretary work, so nothing at all.
Fair.
Lucky.
just like papers and stuff. Probably more stuff happens in just like my daily life or back in the day when I was in the than ever happens during my job. I wish I had a more interesting job though. One day, hopefully. Not like bad interesting, like good interesting.
How long have people been listening, Brian?
We can call this an episode if you guys want. Final words?
I have not been arrested.
It's pretty good words. If we want, I can retread my story real quick.
Okay.
Cool. Alex, did I tell you about that time that I was framed for murder or something?
No.
This is a good story.
This is a stupid story. I hate it so much. So, I'm working door to door for a living. I'm selling these pizza coupon books. I knock on your door. I'm like, hey, here's the book. You guys like pizza? $20. You get this coupon book. Right there, right off the bat is a $20 free pizza. So everything works out. It's good. They should sell themselves. They don't. I sold like one and I made like $10 that day. So I stop over at the ATM. It's like 9 p.m. I park my car in front of the bank. I walk over to the ATM. I deposit the money. I'm walking back to my car. These two nice looking fellows decide to stop me with their gun and they're like, "Give me your wallet." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" But I give them my wallet and they open it up and they're like, "Where's the money?" And I'm like, "What money?" They're like, "Where's the fucking money?" I'm like, "I work door to door for a living. Do you think I have any money?" So they don't like that answer.
Robbing people isn't very cost effective these days. Nobody has any money.
I think that's why they were looking right at the ATM, because they saw me walk up to an ATM and walk away from the ATM. But I deposited
And
it instead.
deposit your
True.
$10.
Yeah, my $10. So I was holding my car keys because they had stopped me right at my car, and I dropped them. What with the whole I'm looking at a gun. So they grabbed my car keys. My car was a really shitty car where you had to like insert the key and then pull it out while twisting counterclockwise, and so basically my car is safe and they don't end up stealing my car. But they have my car keys in my wallet, but on my phone, I call the police and I'm like, "Hey, I just got robbed at gunpoint. Can I maybe get like an escort home or something?" So the police show up And they have their hands on their guns, and they're like, Brian Atkins, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, open the trunk. I'm like, what? Side note for the story, I was visiting my cousins just a week or so ago before this story happened, and one of my cousins, her name is Stephanie, she was really into making chainmail. She actually gave me her first one because she wasn't very good at it. It wasn't perfectly aligned or anything, and she kept cutting herself on it. So that was in my trunk currently, a pile of bloody, rusty chains. So it's kind of convenient that I didn't have my car keys with me, because if I did open my truck, the trunk of my car, they would have seen just a pile of bloody, rusty chains. And the reason that they wanted me to open up my trunk so desperately is because there was recently a killing in Stockton, California, and I was one of the top suspects. I found that out from the back seat of the police car. So the door-to-door job kind of sucked, but it was kind of cool in the sense I could take breaks whenever I wanted, and I got to visit different cities. And one of the cities I visited was Gilroy, California, and I got to go to one of their bookstores right before it closed, and they had all of these cool sales. So I had like an Animorphs book on me. I don't know why I decided to bring it to the ATM with me, but thank goodness I did, because when they pulled up all of the news on the little police teleprompter thing, they were like, where were you on this date at this time? And I'm like, I was in Gilroy. And I pulled out the book, and I was using the receipt as a bookmark, so I actually cleared my name thanks to buying an Animorphs book.
And saving your receipt.
And saving my receipt, because, like, what else am I going to use as a bookmark, honestly?
Always save receipts, kids.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, you clearly didn't do it then. I'm like, cool. So I just got robbed at gunpoint, and I don't feel safe walking home because they took my car keys. Can you drive me to my house? They're like, yeah, sure. So they drive me to my house, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the keys to get inside, and nobody else is home. My bedroom window is open, so if I can like sneak out through the back and just get a boost, I can get inside, deactivate the alarms, and then leave. They're like, oh, okay, cool. So one of the policemen follows me into my backyard and then pulls a gun and points it at my dad's dog because it's a pit bull. And I'm like, hey, please don't shoot my dog. I'm already pretty stressed out. And he's like, well, tell your dog to... I'm like, tell my dog to what? Because the dog is just completely asleep right now. He's like,
Tell your dog to stop being a pit bull. Wow.
yeah.
Racially profiling a dog.
Right? Fun. So the police officer helps me into my bedroom window. I deactivate the alarm code, open up the front door, tell the police officer, thank you. And at this point, it's like nearly 1 in the morning. So I close and lock the door, reset the alarm code, jump onto my computer, go to wellsfargo.com, deactivate my cards. I had to call them up on my phone and be like, yeah, I got robbed. And they're like, that sucks. I'm like, I know, right? So that was fun. My dad got home. He was working night shifts, so he gets home at like 6 in the morning. And so I tell him everything that happened. I, of course, like text messaged him and everything. And he's been telling people that it's my fault that I got robbed at gunpoint, telling everybody that, like, instead of being there at 9 p.m. while the sun was just barely going down, that I was at the ATM at 2 a.m. and that I parked even further away. So it's my fault that I got robbed. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so it turned out also that the coupon book thing was a front for a drug operation. So I was working for drug dealers, got robbed at gunpoint, was wanted for murder, had to stop a police officer from killing my dad's dog, broke into my own house, all of this within like one night, and my dad says it's my fault. So that's fun.
What an asshole.
I know, right? So the way we do final words when we close out the podcast is we each say one word. And then that's it, and then we hit stop. So we're going to go around and we're each going to say one word. Starting with Noah. Go.
Boomer.
Cucumber. One of you two. Alex?
My word's not gonna work if it's before the other guy's word.
Patrick, go. You guys are fun.
Very fun.
I was just gonna say bye.
Aha!
I wanted it to be less. But Patrick didn't want to play along. So.
Patrick, one word, go.
Blanket.
That's the show, folks. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and hit a child square in the face.
Thank you for listening to the calming sounds of the Tidepool Orchestra.